You know what's wild? That pretty ground cover you just planted could literally take over your entire neighborhood in 5 years. I'm talking about plants so aggressive that some states have actually made them illegal to sell. And here's the kicker. 3 of them are probably sitting at your local nursery right now with 0 warning labels. Stick around because number 7 on this list destroyed my neighbor's foundation. And number 12? It's choking out native forests across 43 states as we speak. Hey there, garden friends. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, where we help you grow the garden of your dreams without emptying your wallet. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us because today's video might just save you from making a very expensive mistake. And to my returning viewers, thank you for being part of this community. You all make creating these videos absolutely worth it. Now, before we dig in, do me a quick favor. If you find today's information helpful and you want more budget-friendly gardening tips that actually work, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free, it takes 1 second, and it helps this channel grow so I can keep bringing you content like this. Also, I'm curious, have you ever dealt with an invasive plant nightmare? Drop your story in the comments because I love hearing from you folks. Alright, let's get into these 15 garden bullies and the much better alternatives that won't stage a hostile takeover of your yard. Plant 1. English Ivy. Let's kick things off with a plant that looks absolutely gorgeous climbing up brick walls and covering bare ground. English Ivy. Now, I know what you're thinking because I thought the same thing. It looks so elegant in those garden magazines, right? Here's what they don't tell you. This stuff is basically the zombie apocalypse of the plant world. English ivy doesn't just grow, conquers. It'll climb your trees and create what's called an ivy desert underneath where nothing else can grow. The weight of it can actually snap tree branches during storms. And if it gets on your house, you're looking at potential damage to your siding, mortar, and even your roof. Some homeowners have spent thousands trying to remove it because the roots burrow into tiny cracks and expand. But here's the good news. You want that lush, trailing green look? Go with Creeping Jenny or Ajaga. Creeping Jenny gives you those beautiful cascading vines perfect for containers and borders, but it stays manageable. Ajaga, also called bugleweed, spreads nicely as ground cover and even gives you pretty purple flower spikes in spring. Both give you that full green look without the nightmare. Plant 2, Bamboo. Number 2 is bamboo, and look, I understand the appeal. You want privacy, you want it fast, and bamboo grows like it's being chased. Some varieties can grow 3 feet in a single day. Sounds perfect, right? Wrong. Running bamboo is basically an underground invasion force. Those rhizomes, the underground stems, they travel. I'm talking about popping up in your neighbor's yard 20 feet away. They can crack through concrete, damage underground pipes, and good luck trying to remove it once it's established. You'd need to dig down at least 2 feet and remove every single piece of rhizome, because even a tiny section left behind will regenerate. The smarter move? Try clumping bamboo varieties like Bambusa or Fargesia. These form tight clumps and don't send out those aggressive runners. Or better yet, go with switchgrass. It grows tall, creates privacy, has gorgeous movement in the breeze, and it's native to North America, which means it supports your local ecosystem without trying to destroy it. Plus, it turns this beautiful golden color in fall. Plant 3, Japanese Knotweed. Plant number 3 is Japanese Knotweed, and this one is so serious that in the UK, you can actually have trouble selling your home if it's found on your property. Banks have refused mortgages over this plant. That's how intense it is. Japanese knotweed looks harmless enough. It's got these pretty heart-shaped leaves and creamy white flowers. But underneath the soil, it's building an empire. The roots can go down 10 feet and spread 20 feet in every direction. It can grow through concrete, tarmac, and building foundations. There are documented cases of it growing up through floor tiles inside people's homes. And here's the terrifying part. Cutting it down actually makes it spread faster because each tiny fragment of root left in the soil creates a whole new plant. Want something that looks similar but won't destroy your property value? Solomon's seal is absolutely gorgeous with those arching stems and bell-shaped flowers. Or try Heartleaf Brunnera. It's got those similar heart-shaped leaves with stunning blue flowers in spring, but it stays exactly where you plant it like a civilized garden citizen. Plant 4, Purple Loosestrife. Number 4 is purple loosestrife, and this is one of those situations where something looks so beautiful that you can't imagine it being a problem. Those tall purple flower spikes are absolutely stunning, especially when planted in masses. The problem? It destroys wetlands. A single purple loosestrife plant can produce over 2 million seeds per year. Let that sink in. 2 million. It invades marshes, lake shores, and river banks, forming dense stands that choke out native plants that waterfowl and other wildlife depend on for food. It's estimated to infest over 500,000 acres of wetlands in the United States, causing millions in economic damage. But you can get that same gorgeous purple spike effect with blazing star or liatris. Native to North America, it gives you those tall, dramatic purple blooms that pollinators absolutely love, and it stays put. Another fantastic option is blue vervain, which thrives in moist areas and has similar spiky purple flowers but supports native ecosystems instead of destroying them. Quick pause here, friends. If you're learning something new and realizing you might need to rethink some of your plant choices, show some love by tapping that like button. It really helps YouTube show this video to more gardeners who need this information. And hey, we're not even halfway through yet. Number 9 on this list is sold at almost every big box store, and most people have no idea it's a problem. Let's keep going. Plant 5, Kudzu. Plant number 5, you've probably heard of this one. Kudzu, also called the vine that ate the South. This was actually introduced on purpose back in the 1930s for erosion control. Brilliant idea, terrible execution. Kudzu can grow up to a foot per day during peak growing season. It blankets everything in its path. Trees, buildings, power lines, abandoned cars. Kills trees by blocking their sunlight and adds so much weight that it topples them. In the southeastern United States, it covers over 7 million acres and costs around $500 million annually in lost productivity and control efforts. If you need erosion control or a fast-growing vine, try American Wisteria. Unlike its invasive Asian cousin, American Wisteria is well-behaved, gorgeous, and fragrant. Or go with Virginia creeper. It's native, it climbs beautifully, turns brilliant red in autumn, and birds love the berries. Both options give you coverage without the horror story. Plant 6. Bishop's weed, goutweed. Number 6 is bishop's weed, also called goutweed, and this one tricks people because it's actually sold as a well-behaved ground cover for shade. That's like calling a wolf a friendly puppy. Those pretty variegated leaves look fantastic at first. It fills in shady areas where grass won't grow. Perfect solution, right? Except it doesn't stop. It sends out underground rhizomes that pop up everywhere. It'll invade your flower beds, your lawn, your neighbor's lawn. And here's the nightmare. It's nearly impossible to remove completely. Each tiny piece of root left behind regenerates. Some gardeners have been fighting it for over a decade. For shady areas, you're way better off with sweet woodruff. It spreads nicely as ground cover, has delicate white flowers, and actually stays manageable. Or try wild ginger. It's a native plant with gorgeous heart-shaped leaves that creates dense ground cover in shade without the aggression. Both are easy to control if they spread beyond where you want them. Plant 7. Japanese honeysuckle. Lucky number 7 is Japanese honeysuckle, and I know this one's controversial because people love that sweet fragrance. I get it, I really do. Those flowers smell absolutely incredible on a warm summer evening. But here's what's happening behind the scenes. This vine is strangling forests, climbs trees, blocks sunlight, and the weight of it actually pulls trees down. It forms dense mats on the ground that prevent native seedlings from establishing. Wildlife might nibble on it, but it doesn't provide the same nutritional value as native plants. So you're essentially creating a food desert disguised as abundance. The good news? You can still have that amazing fragrance. Coral honeysuckle is native, non-invasive, and has beautiful tubular red flowers that hummingbirds go absolutely crazy for. Or plant Carolina jessamine, which has fragrant yellow flowers and won't try to consume your entire property. Both smell wonderful without the ecological destruction. Plant 8. Burning bush. Number 8 is burning bush, and this one's still widely sold at nurseries, which honestly blows my mind. Yes, that bright red fall color is absolutely spectacular. It's like having flames in your landscape. The problem is what happens after those pretty leaves fall. Burning bush produces seeds that birds eat and then spread everywhere. It's invading forests, parks, and natural areas across the northeastern and midwestern United States. It creates dense thickets that shade out native wildflowers and tree seedlings. Young plants are especially aggressive, and before you know it, you've got burning bush seedlings popping up all over your yard and beyond. Want that incredible fall color without supporting an invasive species? Plant fragrant sumac. It gives you brilliant red and orange fall foliage, has interesting texture, and it's native. Another stunning option is oakleaf hydrangea. Those huge leaves turn deep burgundy and red in fall, plus you get beautiful cone-shaped flowers in summer. Both are absolute showstoppers that won't invade your local forest. Plant 9. Vinca minor, periwinkle. Plant number 9 is vinca minor, commonly called periwinkle, and yes, I know it's everywhere. Garden centers sell it by the truckload as an easy ground cover for shade. And it is easy. Too easy. Those glossy green leaves and pretty purple-blue flowers spread into dense mats that absolutely nothing else can grow through. It escapes cultivation easily, invading forests and choking out native spring wildflowers like trilliums and native orchids that took decades to establish. Once it gets into natural areas, it's incredibly difficult and expensive to remove. For shade ground cover with similar appeal, go with green and gold or foamflower. Both are native, they spread nicely without being aggressive, and they support pollinators. Green and gold gives you cheerful yellow flowers in spring, while foamflower has delicate white or pink blooms. Both create that lush carpet effect without the ecological damage. Plant 10. Chinese Wisteria. Number 10 is Chinese Wisteria, and oh man, those cascading purple flower clusters are absolutely breathtaking. I completely understand why people want this plant. It looks like something out of a fairy tale. The reality is more like a nightmare. Chinese Wisteria is a monster, can strangle and kill mature trees. The vines twist around trunks and limbs with such force that they actually deform the wood, causing permanent damage even after the wisteria is removed. It grows so aggressively that it can pull down fences, damage siding, rip off gutters, and destroy pergolas. And good luck getting it to bloom if you're not an expert because it's notoriously finicky about flowering. Remember I mentioned this earlier? American Wisteria is your answer. Same gorgeous drooping flower clusters, same sweet fragrance, but it's much less aggressive and far easier to control. It blooms more reliably too, especially newer cultivars like Amethyst Falls. You get all the beauty with none of the destruction. Alright, garden friends, we're getting close to the end here, and I hope you're finding alternatives that work for your space. If you are, go ahead and drop a comment letting me know which plant you're planning to swap out. I read every single comment and I love hearing about your gardening plans. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time because we drop new money-saving garden tips every week. Let's finish strong with the last 5. Plant 11. Norway Maple. Number 11 is Norway Maple, and this one surprises people because it's a tree. Big, beautiful shade trees that line streets across America. So what's the problem? It's crowding out our native maples. Norway maple produces dense shade that nothing grows under. Those large leaves decompose slowly and actually change the soil chemistry, making it harder for native plants to survive. The seeds spread easily, and young Norway maples invade forests, outcompeting native sugar maples, red maples, and other indigenous trees. It's basically creating monoculture forests where biodiversity plummets. If you want a gorgeous shade tree, plant a red maple or sugar maple. Both are native, absolutely stunning in fall, and they support hundreds of species of moths and butterflies that evolved with these trees. Or consider an oak tree. Oaks support more life than virtually any other tree genus in North America. You'll get shade, beauty, and you'll be creating habitat instead of destroying it. Plant 12. Butterfly bush, Buddleia. Plant number 12 might shock you. Butterfly bush. Wait, isn't that supposed to be good for butterflies? Not really, and here's why this is actually kind of heartbreaking. Yes, butterflies visit the flowers for nectar. But here's what matters more. Caterpillars. Butterflies need native host plants where they can lay eggs, and where caterpillars can feed. Butterfly bush provides zero value for caterpillars. This junk food, empty calories. Meanwhile, it's spreading into natural areas and displacing native plants that butterflies actually need to complete their life cycle. You're attracting butterflies to an area where they can't successfully reproduce. If you truly want to help butterflies, plant Goutweed, New England aster, or blazing star. These are native plants that provide nectar and also support butterfly caterpillars. Milkweed is another must-have for monarchs. You'll actually see more butterflies over time because you're giving them what they need to survive, not just a quick sugar hit. Plant 13. Japanese barberry. Number 13 is Japanese barberry, and I know landscapers love this plant because deer won't eat it, and it has year-round interest with those red berries. Unfortunately, there's a disturbing connection that nobody talks about. Japanese barberry creates perfect habitat for black-legged ticks, the ones that carry Lyme disease. Studies have shown that areas with dense barberry have significantly higher tick populations. The plant's dense branching creates humid, shaded conditions at ground level that ticks thrive in. Plus, it's invasive, spreading into forests and natural areas where it outcompetes native shrubs. For a similar look without the health risks, try winterberry holly. Those bright red berries are even showier, birds love them, and it's native. Or plant red twig dogwood, which gives you brilliant red stems in winter, white berries for wildlife, and gorgeous fall color. Both are deer-resistant and they don't harbor disease-carrying ticks. Plant 14. Yellow flag iris. Plant number 14 is yellow flag iris, and it's sold for water gardens and pond edges. Those bright yellow flowers are absolutely cheerful, and it tolerates wet conditions where other plants struggle. Sounds ideal, right? Not quite. Yellow flag iris forms dense colonies that clog waterways, reduce water flow, and increase sedimentation. It crowds out native wetland plants that provide food and shelter for fish, amphibians, and waterfowl. The rhizomes can also cause skin irritation in humans, which is not great if you're working around your pond. For wet areas, plant blue flag iris instead. It's native, has gorgeous purple-blue flowers, and it supports local wildlife. Another excellent choice is cardinal flower with those stunning scarlet blooms that hummingbirds cannot resist. Both thrive in moist conditions without taking over your entire water feature. Plant 15. Crown vetch. And finally, number 15 is crown vetch. This was another great idea for erosion control that went sideways. Those pink and white flowers are pretty, and it does hold soil on slopes. The catch? It doesn't stop on slopes. Crown vetch spreads aggressively through rhizomes and seeds, invading roadsides, fields, and natural areas. It forms such dense mats that it excludes virtually all other plants. It's actually toxic to horses and some other livestock, which is a serious problem if it spreads to pastures. And while it fixes nitrogen in the soil, which sounds beneficial, this actually gives it an unfair advantage over native plants and changes the ecosystem. For erosion control, use Pennsylvania sedge or prairie dropseed. Both have deep root systems that hold soil beautifully. They're native grasses that support wildlife, and they create natural-looking landscapes. Another option is creeping phlox, which gives you colorful spring blooms, handles slopes well, and stays where you plant it. And there you have it, friends. 15 plants that might look tempting at the nursery but will cause you headaches, expenses, and ecological damage down the road. The beautiful thing is that for every single one of these invasive bullies, there's a native or non-invasive alternative that looks just as good, often performs better, and actually supports your local ecosystem instead of destroying it. Before you head out to the nursery this weekend, take a screenshot of this video or jot down those alternatives. Your future self, your wallet, your neighbors, and your local environment will thank you. And remember, being a responsible gardener doesn't mean sacrificing beauty. It means making smarter choices that benefit everyone. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your gardening friends who might be about to make these mistakes, and subscribe to Earthly Gardening for more budget-friendly, eco-conscious garden tips. Drop a comment telling me which of these plants you've dealt with or which alternative you're excited to try. I love hearing your stories and questions. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and let's make our gardens beautiful and beneficial for everyone. Happy gardening, friends!